Welcome to Empowered Living, where we have conversations about helping women to live empowered lives in the 5 M's of me, marriage, motherhood, multiculturalism, and money. Today, we will talk about unlocking successful parenting secrets with practical tips. But before we dive in, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Remy, a mother of 3 amazing children. I'm married to my tech-savvy husband for over 2 decades. I have a background in electrical engineering, and I'm a certified coach, speaker, trainer, and youth facilitator with Maxwell Leadership. I'm also a DISC consultant and personality analyst who helps us better understand human behavior. I also advocate for cultural intelligence for enhanced intercultural communication. I founded Next Generation Empowerment, where I partner with parents and organizations to inspire, to equip, and empower teenagers towards excellence in life, in learning, and in leadership. Our goal is to help our teenagers discover themselves and maximize their potential. 3 things motivated me to start Next Generation Empowerment. The first one is my own children. As I embarked on the journey of motherhood, I wanted to do it right so I could look back after they were grown without regrets. Immigrating to North America meant I did not have my family support. When I gave birth to my children, nobody handed me a manual that told me, here, this is how to raise them. I had to study and read extensively to find a way to raise my own children well. That is why I built my library around personal growth, containing books on parenting that have become assets to me. These mentors have helped me raise my children from pregnancy to young adulthood. Whenever they faced a challenge, I found a book that helped them overcome it and even created curriculums to help them develop leadership skills. As you know, parenting, it is a journey you cannot go alone. So in addition to all these mentors in books, I met many kind mothers who have helped me along the way. And my mom and dad were only a phone call away. The second motivating factor for me is reflecting on my teenage years and the typical challenges I faced. I recall starting college at the age of 16 and had a great time making lots of friends. However, when I returned for my second year, I noticed most of my friends had changed due to peer pressure and newfound independence. As expected, many had adopted new interests that included casual dating and other interests that are more important to them. This drastic change prompted me to join the Sisters Fellowship, where I became part of the leadership team. And together, we applied godly principles to address the real-world challenges that women face. As a parent, I believe that equipping children at an early age allows them to develop and internalize skills as personal habits, enhancing their self-leadership. Utilizing the critical window of 7 years between age 11 and 18 will help them refine these skills. By instilling it early on, they are more likely to own it as their own and not stray away from it as they gain independence. My third motivation is to speak up for the girl child. I want to empower and encourage her to pursue her passions, to inspire her to be confident in any field she chooses, to offer her role models in women so that she can have her own voice and achieve her personal best. I want her to overcome gender disparities, especially in the fields of STEM and IT. As someone in the background of engineering, I understand the challenges of a male-dominated industry. So when it comes to successful parenting, it has to begin with good communication. Parents today face obstacles that they are not often aware of when communicating effectively with their teenagers. Based on my research and personal experience, I have categorized these challenges that parents encounter while communicating with their teenagers under three main obstacles. The first obstacle is the developmental challenges. Teenagers face so many changes as they grow. The second is generational differences that exist between parents and their teenage children. The third obstacle is the cultural difference. This may impact how teenagers communicate with their parents. Let's take a closer look at each one of these obstacles. The first and most significant obstacle is the developmental challenge. Often, parents forget that their teenagers are still in the process of becoming adults and may try to reason with them as if they already know everything an adult should know. For instance, they may tell their teenagers, "You should have done better. You should know better." We have to remember that biologically, the prefrontal cortex in the brain is not fully developed until later in young adulthood. This part of the brain is responsible for decision making and planning for the future. Therefore, expecting teenagers to have the same maturity level and decision making skills as adults is quite unrealistic. Parents can act as coaches for their teenagers, guiding and explaining the reasons behind their instructions. This helps teenagers to develop critical thinking and decision-making skills. The second challenge we face today while trying to engage and communicate with our teenagers is cultural. You might say, "They're my children. How can they have a different culture from me?" I beg to explain this one. Families have always had significant influence on an individual's development. However, our society has experienced so many changes. Rates of divorce, single-parent household, blended families, and other complex situations has broadened the definition of family. Grandparents and families often live far away from each other, and social media has made it easier for culture to seep into our homes. As a result, children and teenagers' worldview are shaped not only by their parents, but also by the society at large. And this is happening very fast. This means that both immigrants and non-immigrants are now raising third culture kids. The concept of third culture originated from the research that revealed that our children do not belong to this culture because they are not raised in our same culture, and they are not necessarily part of the culture they live in. Why? Because the culture today is no longer a homogeneous societal culture, but rather very diverse. A homogeneous culture has one dominant way of thinking and very little variations of beliefs. Today, diversity exists in all nations, but with a degree of variation in shared meanings within the society. Consequently, teenagers have their own thought culture, which is a unique blend of how they were raised and their own personal experiences. As a result, they do not identify with our culture or the host culture where they live in. They have a different culture, which can lead to communication breakdowns, misunderstanding, and conflict with parents. Therefore, navigating these complex issues require parents and guardians to be aware of their children's unique experiences and to take time to listen to them and listen carefully. The third challenge of trying to communicate with our teenager is generational. Most parents who have preteens and teenagers are from the Gen X generation, born between 1965 and 1982. However, the Gen Z, our children, were born between 2001 and 2013. Tim Elmore, in his book, A New Kind of Diversity, says, increasingly, we will feel like foreigners when interacting with our Gen Zers. the language, the customs, and the values that the Gen Zers embrace may be so different from what we are used to. So we have to find common ground, and that has become difficult. Therefore, it is crucial to establish a common language that will transcend generational gap so we can communicate effectively with our teenagers. This makes it clear that we need something that can help us to bridge the gaps between the different generations, cultures, and stages of development. One solution I would propose is the DISC method of human behavior. It levels the playing field and gives us a shared language so we can talk about the things that are important to them and do it in a healthy and respectful manner. This shared language helps teenagers, families, and educators to communicate effectively across all these barriers. The DISC method categorizes behavior into 4 types. The D is dominant, I influencing, S steady, and C compliant. Each of these types have their own unique characteristics and tendencies. D, the dominant style, is assertive, to the point, and wants bottom line. They are described as forceful, direct, and strong-willed. I, the influencing style, they are great communicators. They are friendly to everyone. They are described as optimistic, friendly, and talkative. The S steady style, they are good listeners. They are great team players. You describe them as steady, patient, loyal, and practical. C, the compliant style. They enjoy gathering facts. They like details, and they are thorough in their activities. You describe them as precise, sensitive, and analytical. The DISC method of human behavior shows people are predictable in their behaviors. It helps us to understand and see people for who they are, to connect on common ground, which help us overcome the obstacles to communicating with our teenagers. By understanding our own behavior and those of others, we can improve our communication, build stronger relationships, and achieve greater success in all areas of life. Some practical ways to help each personality do well, to motivate them, and to not allow fears that stop them from being their personal best. We will describe it as follows. The D personality, they excel at organization and decisiveness. They aim at completing their tasks promptly. To motivate them, offer them leadership opportunities. Their main fear is losing control or feeling like they're being taken advantage of. The I personality, they effortlessly make friends, but they benefit from structure and schedules so they can stay focused. Recognize their positive actions and provide chances for them to express their thoughts. Take time to listen to them because they fear not being accepted or appreciated. The S personality style, they are known for their steadiness and they are helpful. They need encouragement to speak up, otherwise they'll be quiet. Empower them to voice out their desires and ensure they have the necessary support for success. Their primary fear is losing security. The C personality style, they are deep thinkers. They seek perfection and they may take time to respond due to their analytic nature. Encourage them to know that imperfection is part of life, so they should focus on excellence. Motivate them by allowing them to ask questions. Avoid criticism unless it's really helpful because they fear failure and they fear being judged. According to a human behavior expert, Dr. Robert Rome, in his book, A+ Ideas for Every Student's Success, he said, personality types cross across all kinds of differences like male, female, birth order, age differences, race, religion, nationality. It's not meant to label or categorize, analyze people, or put them in a box. Rather, it helps us to better understand people, to understand ourselves, so we can communicate successfully. Successful parenting starts with understanding the basic differences in personalities. In other words, recognize the competence of your D, provide fun for your I style, give stability to your steady style, and the compliance style. Answer their questions correctly. To unlock successful parenting secrets, we must adjust parenting style based on individual needs, embrace the strengths, and respect the limitations to foster effective communication and understanding. I'm going to share with you some stories about adapting parenting style to suit every personality. One day, my son had a dentist appointment, but the school told him he had earned an extra recess. But this extra recess coincided with his dental appointment. He said, "Mom, can you please reschedule my appointment?" Recognizing his influencing personality, I agreed to move his appointment so he could enjoy his earned recess. Because for the influencing style, having fun and enjoying recognition is important to them. During a coaching session with another mom, she shared with me that her son was an excellent student and he had received a medal for his achievement. However, the next semester, despite performing just as well, he did not receive any recognition from the school. And on his next test, his grade dropped. When mother asked him, he explained, he felt unnoticed, so why bother? Her son is also an influencing style. So he wants that recognition. So I advised the mother to purchase the medal and present it to her son, showing him that she values and appreciates his hard work. Another mother, she reached out to me for coaching after she had made a significant decision. During our coaching session, she discovered that her daughter's personality was the influencing style. Her daughter, who was sociable and vibrant, clashed with her mom's stable and steady nature. The daughter's action had led her to break one socializing rule, resulting in her being withdrawn from some of her usual activities. Through coaching, the mom realized that the influencing style fears isolation, and she was unknowingly instilling fear by removing the daughter from some social circles. Although some people may say that her choice of discipline was consequential, but I want to say that no good parent wants to raise their children with a negative fear. So understanding our children's personality allows parents to adapt approach to helping each child to thrive. Another mom also noticed the differences in parenting her children. Her daughter and herself shared the go-getter D personality, enjoying the fast-paced activities and competition. On the other hand, her son had a different steady personality style, preferring a slow and steady approach. While her daughter sought fame, her son shied away from the spotlight, focusing on creating music. Recognizing these differences, she adjusted her parenting style accordingly. It is crucial to tailor parenting to each child's personality to nurture healthy relationships and self-esteem. Adaptation can lead to better understanding and communication with children of varying personalities. So you may be asking, just what are some practical tips to unlock successful parenting secrets? As parents, it is crucial to establish the strong bond we need with our teenagers. Here are 3 practical tips to help us connect better. 1, listen actively in order to build trust. 2, acknowledge their feelings and offer praise for good behavior. And 3, spend quality time together. doing things they enjoy. First, listening actively to what they say and actually to what they do not say can help us build trust. Active listening is key to building trust and connection. Connection cannot be rushed. It takes time and patience. We must remember to not just listen to what they say, but also what they did not say, as there's always a reason behind their action and their words. Sometimes parents may wonder, why do they need to build trust with their children, especially since they have their children's best interests at heart? However, it is important to remember that because I said so is not really an answer that would work for a teenager. We need to allow them to think through processes and understand the benefits of our decisions. As parents, we should put on our coach's hat and guide them through the process. It goes back to showing them how to develop good decision-making and problem-solving skills, which will go a long way to enhance their leadership skills. The second tip involves acknowledging their feelings and offering praise. Often, as parents, we tend to notice our children when they make mistakes. However, in order to build connection, we should acknowledge them when they are doing the right thing. To acknowledge their feelings, let's try to understand the situation. It is important to diagnose a situation before offering solution or judgment, just like a good doctor would do. I'm sure you don't want any doctor writing you a prescription to take to the pharmacy before listening to your symptoms. So as parents, to offer the right solution tailored to their specific personality, we have to listen to our children. The third practical tip for building a connection with our children is to engage in activities together. Normally, when you ask your teenager about their day at school, they may say, oh, it was okay, and they won't elaborate anymore. So we must find avenues to get them to open up so they can share their world with us. For instance, my older daughter likes to walk, so we walk and talk. My younger daughter, she loves reading and has found TV shows, one in particular that she likes. I stop and I watch a little clip. Then I ask her what happened later. This way, I get her talking more. My son, he likes to play and watch basketball, but he doesn't like me cheering because I always say, may the best player win. But he doesn't want me to do that. He wants me to cheer for his favorite team. But that's one way I connect with him. So for us parents, whether we're eating together, taking a walk, or driving in the car, let's make sure that we create space that will help us connect with our teenagers on a personal level. When it comes to connecting with our teens and guiding them, we must remember that as humans, we are not perfect. And trust me, your teenager knows that you are not perfect. We can only parent with the knowledge that we have. However, we can trust God, who knows them and created them. We can walk together in partnership with Him to guide our children. A parent asked me, what about approach to discipline? When it comes to disciplining teenagers and effectively communicating with them, especially when things go wrong, instead of jumping straight to punishment, it may be helpful to suggest a redo. This means giving our teenagers a second chance to communicate their thoughts and their feelings in a more respectful way. It is important to remember that we are all still learning and growing, and it's okay to make mistakes. By taking a more discipleship approach, we can work with our teenagers to understand what went wrong and teach them how to do better next time. You know, I would like to differentiate between discipline and discipleship. Even though the two words have the same root, they have different meanings and reflect different approaches to parenting. When it comes to discipline, it involves setting clear boundaries, rules, and consequences for actions. This approach focuses on teaching them right from wrong, helping them understand the reason behind rules, and guiding them towards making better choices in the future. On the other hand, discipleship for your children involves fostering and nurturing a supportive environment where you, as a parent, lead by example, show empathy, and encourage open communication. This approach helps to build a strong parent-child relationship based on mutual respect, trust, and understanding. By being a mentor and a role model to your child, you can help them develop essential life and leadership skills, develop values, and a sense of responsibility. Ultimately, finding the right balance between discipline and discipleship can create a harmonious and healthy environment for your children to grow, to learn, and to thrive. By knowing your child's personality and adjusting your disciplinary approach to match each child's personality traits, you can guide them towards success, independence, just like a skilled mentor guiding a mentee. I want us to remember the goal is to raise confident, resilient individuals who can navigate life's challenges with grace, with respect, and with wisdom. Let's consider the wisdom from growing plants. To grow a successful crop, it's essential to choose the right seed and plant it in the appropriate soil while providing optimal environmental conditions. For instance, coffee shops like Starbucks or Tim Hortons, they source their coffee from regions with ideal conditions for coffee production. These regions are typically located around the equator, where the weather is mild, it's humid, and the soil is fertile. Countries like Colombia or Ethiopia with rich soil and ideal climate conditions can produce healthy, high-quality coffee beans, which they can be harvested and sold to coffee shops to make the delicious coffee that people enjoy. I don't drink coffee, but I like the smell. Similarly, parents need to understand each child's personality so they can surround them with the right environmental conditions that will help them thrive, be their personal best, live a life of purpose, and maximize their potential. Understanding personality helps us to know ourselves as parents, help us to know our children so that parenting ends up being very practical. It provides us with clear strategies for each child because every child is different, but we need to know what makes them different. Understanding their method of behavior saves us years of pain, and it will help us to avoid hurting our children along the way because we will understand them better. With this good understanding, I continue to adjust my parenting to suit each of my children's personality needs. In conclusion, I'd like us to remember the acronym for parents. P, prepare. A, affirm. R, rear. E, educate. N, nurture their nature. T, teach. And S, support. A parenting mentor I met recently inspired me with her words of wisdom. According to Deborah Tillman, letting your children know that they are loved, forgiven, capable, valuable, and accepted is one of the best things you can do for your relationship. So, if you want to improve communication and bonding with your teenagers and your entire family, check out our website at nextgenerationempowerment.com. We offer you a free ebook titled Parents Guide for Inquisitive Teens. 5 Keys to Harness Potential and Empower Purpose. The guide provides practical tips for parents to equip and connect with their teenagers and help them excel in life, in learning, and prepare for adulthood. Thank you for joining me today. See you next time.